the Moment. Issues of the Moment is a current affairs program of Living Television Film Academy, ABA. Today is a special edition in the sense that we are going to center our conversation on Living Television Film Academy. And we have a full house. And they are going to tell us everything we need to know about this very institution. I have in the studio Professor Chinedum Adiele. Professor Adiele is a public affairs analyst, and more importantly, he is the academic director and consultant to the school. Professor Adiele, welcome to Issues of the Moment.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Viewers, happy viewing.
I also have in the studio today Mr. Great Peters. Mr. Peters is in charge of information technology. Great, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Mrs. Emilia Nwoko is appearing in the program for the first time. He is in charge of fashion and designing. Mrs. Nwoko, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Jane Carlo is in charge of hairdressing. Jane, welcome to Issues of the Moment.
Thank you, sir.
And the last but not the least is Ebel Onoha. He is an instructor in cinematography. Ebel, welcome to Issues of the Moment.
Thank you very much.
Professor Dele, you are going to receive the first shot. Tell us everything we need to know about Living Television Film Academy as the academic director and consultant of the school.
Right, Living TV Film Academy, like I said, earlier is born out of passion. And when I talk about being born out of passion, it's as a result of what we have been seeing in our various tertiary institutions, especially in the institutions of mass communication and mass media. Terrible things are happening there because mass communication is supposed to be a practical job. So, but fortunately, or rather unfortunately enough, the vision bearer of this Living TV Film Academy, he's not a pronounced mass communicator or a filmmaker, but have a serious and wonderful passion. He's a lawyer and a philosopher, but because he has this compassion for this, and that is why he came. And we should also know about 2 years ago, the Nigerian National Universities Commission, NUC, unbundled mass communication. And because even before now, whoever that read mass comm will know that it has about 7 professionals in that one course. So because of that, the NUC decided to unbundle it, creating 7 departments out of it. Living Television Film Academy decided to have 4 of these major departments, to ensure that there is effective mass communication. And it's, the French will call it practicum, that is practicals, that is involved. Living TV Film Academy has about 4 major departments for regular students. And that is, we have the Department of Journalism and Media Studies. We also have the Department of Film and Multimedia Studies. We have the Department of Broadcasting and Public Speaking. And finally, we have the Department of Information and Media Studies. These are 4 major departments that make up the then mass communication. They are all departments, while mass communication remains a faculty. That is what they do. And then when we talk about being born out of passion, you will agree with me that most often when you graduate from any of our universities as a mass communicator, you keep carrying your files, moving around, looking for white-collar job. But I know that whosoever that is well-trained in the field of mass communication cannot look for job elsewhere. People like us, I've been an author even right when I was in school and until that. I never carried a file to any person to look for a job because it is mass communication I see as one of the best courses, one of the professional courses in the university, because this is the only course when it was pure mass communication. You can become a public relations personnel, you can become a broadcaster, you can be a journalist, you can be an advert consultant, you can be an image maker to organizations. And because of this, the vision bearer of this college saw all this and knew everything, a little or more about this, and then he decided to come up with this. And then why academy, someone may ask. I remember in 1336, before the birth of Christ, Plato, who was the first man who introduced what an academy is, decided to shift his base from the philosophical education to an academy. And his intention for moving from academy, he was talking about a study where one can practice what he read. And that is why today you have yoga philosophy and so many other branches of philosophy that you can practice. That is not just a mere grammatical influence at the end of your graduation. And so in Living TV Film Academy, it is not just all about studying the theoretical aspects, just like where we are staying here. It is a television studio. We also have a radio studio. And then, to crown it up, like when we talk about multimedia films, we also have a film village in Abia State here that is known as Ngalago Film Village. And what is the position of Ngalago Film Village? Ngalago Film Village is where those who are reading mass communication, if they're able to come up with scripts in the course of their education, they can go to the film village to showcase what they have. The film village is built and is set. We've had 1 or 2 or 3 films in that film village. So when you talk about Living TV Film Academy, you are talking about a full-fledged academy, or what the ordinary man will call a full option. We have the film academy, we have a television station where our students will practice. We also have the radio station for broadcasters. So full Living TV Film Academy is fully packaged. And so that there is no student of this college that will, at the end of graduation, will be looking for a job here and there. There will be too many things you can do for yourself. You can become a film director. Just like in the field of cinematography, the DOP, we train both the cameramen here and so on. Just like you introduced the instructor on that level. But these were courses that were all bundled in mass communication. And Living TV Film Academy, I may make proud to say that is the first academy that has implemented the unbundling of mass communication as directed by the National University Commission, NUC. And so that is who we have for now. For instance, if you look around here, the people who are sitting with us, like introduced earlier, from my far right, we have Abel Onoa. Abel Onoa handles cinematography. Abel can as well speak for himself, his intentions for our students on cinematography or DOP.
Yes, before Abel answers that question, let me announce that we have a large audience in today's edition of Issues of the Moment. We have students of Living Television Film Academy who are watching this program from the sideline. Now, Abel, you can go ahead and answer that question. What happens in your department as the HOD?
Thank you very much. As Prof said, one of the departments in Living TV Film Academy is Film and Multimedia Studies. And you know, the film here, the student might come up and there was the director, but you cannot actualize really a film or a TV program without a cinematographer. A cinematographer and the director of photography, which is only the first camera person, is in charge of the camera crew. And cinematography, like we are here now, where the story of the Living TV Academy is being told, and the world is going to watch it everywhere in the world, courtesy of cameras and lights. So the cinematographer is in charge of lighting, you know what I'm saying? Lighting and the look of the film or television program. It equally chooses the camera, the lenses, and other gear, and as the first camera person, the head of the camera crew, is in charge of the grip, is in charge of the gaffer, the first lighting technician, and look at now, Nollywood. I don't want to go to Hollywood. Nollywood in Nigeria is making waves all over the world and Africa, and we must tell our stories. And telling our stories, we must train people who are vast in their field, like cinematography in my area. We must train them to know that field very well, cinematography there, to know what it means, because the camera is a tool for storytelling, it's a tool for making meaning. You have to really know how to place the camera, where to place it, and anybody place it. It tells meaning, like in movie or TV shows. And Living TV Film Academy is here to train the best in cinematography, so they can up the game in Nollywood. They can up the game and compete with their peers all over the world.
Okay, thank you very much for that explanation. Still on you, are you telling me that a student who passed through you in Living TV Film Academy can compete with others in any part of Nigeria?
Any part of the world, not Nigeria, any part of the world.
That's great.
I bet you, any part of the world, I bet you. The student can attest from what happened, the classes they've had so far. And I said before, the cinematographer is responsible for the lighting, the look of the film. Now, let me give you an example. If you are going to make a comedy, a musical, comedy genre or musical genre, from the lighting and the look of the film, what people are watching, it has to be exciting. The colors have to be vivid. You know what I'm saying? It has to, because this is motion picture, what you call it, an emotion picture. The colors have to be vivid. If you want to make another genre like the film noir, a horror movie, the lighting has to be dark. You have to understand that one from the director. When the camera brings full shot and close up on the subject character, the eyes. These are what another thing. These are what the cinematographer should know. And if you come to Living TV Academy, you are not assured you have the best hands to do that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, when he said not just in Nigeria but in the world, I think it's true, because cinematography is cinematography everywhere in the world. And I think the essence of this college is not just about cinematography are taught in various schools, but when you talk about the practicability, the practicability, that is not there, and it has never been there. Some of them that are coming up recently might come up with a radio station and so on, but what about the television station? Like here, when we teach presentation, people must know how to face the camera, what it means to face the camera, and how to talk boldly. I think this is also one of the institutions that has included public speaking in broadcasting, because these are one of the courses that you can hardly find in most of our Nigerian institutions. So that is why Living TV Film Academy looks a little different. Yeah, having said that, we also have from Abel's immediate left, we have another beautiful girl there, and if you look at her,
Jane Carlo.
Yeah, Jane Carlo is into cosmetology. She's a specialist in cosmetics and also a beautician. In a nutshell, call her a beautician. And the reasons we have them here is obvious. You know, recently the governor of Abia State gave a skill acquisition scholarship for 1 year, and then they have also come to ensure that these students here for this skill acquisition are well equipped. So, then Carlo, Emma, na Living Television, I'm with Wenfo. Onye so question Igbo ya so Igbo no na Igbo kai no. Onye so question na Bekee ya so Bekee. One danya ni na nam se na weke ni ase na jo pare di chala. So Igbo ndo ma na ekente. I'm we can adopt ya ni Igbo na adopt kwa na Bekee.
Yes, in essence, what Professor Jele is saying, that as far as you can read and write in a particular language, you are literate. So, Jen, I want you to talk to us in our mother tongue.
Thank you. In the field of makeup, I handle makeup and hairdressing in Living TV skill acquisition. I teach my students on how to braid hair, how to braid on normal hair and wig. Not teaching them that, I also teach them how to make bridal hair, like someone that wants to have her wedding, on how to design her hair in a way when people see it, it will be beautiful. I taught them how to design the hair and how to make them up in a way when they come out, they will be more beautiful and neat.
Okay, you are telling me that you can change the face of anybody who is naturally ugly.
Yes, sir. Yes, is what I'm into. I can change any person, any lady, whether ugly or beautiful, can change her face. It will be more beautiful than the way she is before.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, unang kao maka ako adi ha na Ikpeazu ya ni Igbo ka ya ga onye ọchọ mma. Why John Joy may mamma, Ga Mabanoma, Mobia de Yamay Mega Jokunjo. I honor cow. I will put 191. Onyana Humakanka, Edwakwa. Hongelu Anato, Asana one, Yadaman or Machrama, Uraba, Abagare Dora. Cow, Onyana Humaka, Nhazi, can they begin about fashion and designing? Get with Drakwan now. A woman need Drakwan, need some mad in Aqua. Make a mother, Dara, or the Ahao, Mother Emily, with Mother Emily.
Thank you, sir. I'm the fashion and designing teaching. N'ime mgbakọ anya anyị nọ, unu maara nke ọma na ụdị mma mmadụ macha mma ewere akpagarekwara ya akwa dịka nwanne anyị nwoke Prof na-ekwu. Anyị bụ ndị na-akwa akwa na ụdị kwesịrị na ịhụ ya ọma mma n'anya. Karịsịa n'oge ndị a ugbu a, unu hụrụ na ọdụ ụdị akwa niile dị iche iche na-apụta. Ma ọ bụrụ na ndị fashion and designing ndị na-aka emetụ ya aka, ọ ga-awụ ihe eji emere akị. But ọ bụrụ na anyị emetụ ya aka dịka anyị nọ na Living TV taa na-eme ụmụ ihe ndị a, akwa ọbụla anyị metụrụ aka ime ka ọ bụrụ ihe dị mma karịsịa n'ebe ndị nwaanyị nọ. Anyị ihe ndị a niile ka anyị na-eme n'ime mkpọkọlata anyị na-ebe a. So eji m ohere a na-agwa ndị youth ndị nọ n'oge ndị a, ndị anyị na ha na-emekọ ihe na-amụ ihe ndị ahụ, ka onye ọbụla kawa ahụ ma lezie anya ịmụta ihe ndị a, ka ọ ghara ịbụ na afọ ndị a asị anyị na ọ ga-abụ ihe efu. Ma ana m asị Chineke onye mere ka eme ihe dị otu a n'etiti anyị n'ime obodo a bụ Nigeria anya, karịsịa n'etiti Abia steeti ma ọ na-ala Aba anya, ka anyị nwee ike ịmụta wee ihe ndị a wee nyere onwe anyị aka n'oge n'iru. N'ihi na ile anya n'oge ugbu a, onwe onye kwesịrị ime nwunye ka ọ bụrụ onye dị gị idle, onye na-enweghị ihe ọ na-eme, karịsịa n'ebe ụmụ nwaanyị dị taa. So anyị bụ otu n'ime ndị na-eme ka ejikwa nwaanyị n'ụdị ọzọ pụrụ iche site n'ịkwara ha akwa. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
email Nwada Emilia Mwoko. Ọ dịkwa ajụjụ m chọrọ ịjụ tupu. Ile anya bụ na ọda dike ndị mmadụ mụrụ ma nwoke ma nwaanyị. Onye ọbụla ga-achọrọ ekọmputa ị ga-ebute ike. Na-achịkwa m nwere ụmụ akwụkwọ ndị na-eti uchu ịmụ ihe gbasara fashion design na.
Anyị buru ibu n'ọtụtụ anyị dị n'ime mkpọkọlata akpọkọtara anyị n'ihi ego mbute wụ ihe wee richaa ya mgbe anyị agwụ. Ma ịmụ aka ọrụ a karịsịa n'ịkwa akwa bụ ihe ga-edu mmadụ gaa n'iru. Ị ga-ahụ ọtụtụ ndị ka nọ na ruo taa ndị na-azụ n'ọtụtụ ụmụ ha site n'ịkwa akwa ahụ. Ụmụ ụdị akwa dị iche iche anyị na-akwa ugbu a. Ọ bụrụ na ịmụtadị nke ọbụla dịkasịrịnụ dịka anyị na-ahụ ugbu a, onye na-akwa ordinary apron dịka a na-eji aga esi nri, ndị a na-ebugharị nri na-eji ya azụ ezinụlọ ya. Onye na-akwa okpu naanị sef na-eji ya azụ ezinụlọ. Ihe ndị a niile wee aka ọrụ ndị na-akwa akwa na-emepụta. O nwere ndị na-especialize naanị n'ịkwa nke elu ka a na-akpọ top. Iruo ugbu a, ndị ọbụla kawara onwe ahụ ịmụta ihe ndị a ga-eji ya zụọ ezinụlọ ha n'ọdịnihu. So ego mbute awụbo ego ibu iricha ya mgbe ahụ ya vanish ya. So ana m ejikwa ohere na-eme people encourage to come more, n'ihi na ohere ọma pụtara ha n'oge ndị a ịmụ ihe ndị a n'ojuju ka ekwesịrị.
Okay, thank you, sir.
That is it. Before we go to the last person on the seat today in Living TV Film Academy, is both in the skill acquisition and the normal day studies. It is also important to know that Living TV Film Academy is not only specialized in skill acquisition. This is just an opportunity that the governor gave to this institution to produce people for 1 year in skill acquisition and training. Outside that, like I mentioned, 4 departments. Like the moderator said, since we started, we commenced effective academy in 2020. That is October last year. And we're happy we have our pioneer students who are entering their second year. This semester. This will be their first semester in second year. They are there. For these 4 departments, they are there. So you out there, it is not all about skill acquisition. Skill acquisition will continue as benevolent persons in Nigeria wish to train some people here. You can do it for 1 year, fashion and designing, cosmetics, DOP, that is cinematography, and so on. You can become a journalist within 1 year to learn how to write. You can become a television presenter. You can also become a broadcaster. We do that within the period of 1 year. But for those who want to be full-time journalists and mass communicators who are here, they are also here studying for 4 years. And the next person to me in my immediate right is Mr. Greg Peters, self-acclaimed multi-talented person. He is the person in charge of our information and communication technology, ICT, Mr. Greg Peters.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be in this program. Like, we know about information technology. And first, I want us to understand what is information technology. It's the process of using a computer to create, store, retrieve, process, and exchange all kinds of information and data. And today you can see that the information technology is very, very important and versatile today because we use it in all fields of life. You can see that the information technology is one of the important departments in the sense that it has been used both in medical field, in academics, and all the way. So the information technology will help a student to be self-employed in the sense that we expose the students on how to manipulate data, on how to store data, and how to manage data and exchange it. What do I mean? In this course, you'll be introduced to how to create a website, for instance, and you know that a website, a worldwide website, is very important. You hardly see an institution or organization that don't have a website. For instance, as I'm here now, a lot of audience are able to watch through the means of information tech. If there is no avenue of information technology, people cannot be able to watch. Yes, creating animation is another avenue of information technology. What about editing, movie editing? The movie you watch will be edited. It's talking about processing data, retrieving it, and exchanging it in all locations. So information technology has been one of the key of communication because it is very essential to human. Now, we don't just only talk about information technology. We also deal on the computer as a whole because one of the basic equipment or device that we use to process this information is a computer. So we expose the student on how to manage, use the computer. In the sense they have to know about the devices that make up the computer, the hardwares of the computer precisely. Because if you are not conversant with a computer or the parts of the computer, you may find it difficult to utilize it. So we expose the student on how to use the computer by studying the hardware of the computer. We don't just study the hardware of the computer, we also go to the essence of teaching them about the software which makes the computer to work. As an information technologist, you know that information technologists, they are innovationists. They bring innovation to the society. For instance, when there's COVID-19 in the whole world, if not through the means of information technology, people will not be communicating. Most of you heard about the Zoom technology and the HLS, which is the hepatitis live streaming, which enable people to watch different programs from different locations. So information technology has been used in all fields of life. So we teach the student not just how to manipulate data, but how to make it to reach audience in different locations. For example, we help the student to build a responsive website. Yes, we help the student to build a mobile application, build a responsive website that can be used for e-commerce, news, and radio and TV broadcasting. So we're equipping the student not just to study, but to be competent enough to take care of themselves and to be self-employed. So in Living TV Film Academy, we have all it takes, because we don't just teach theory, we are practical oriented, because we expose the student on how to use those devices and those equipment and how to practicalize and put in practice what they are learned, and they can use it to help themselves, and it's very beneficial for them. So I encourage everyone who wants to join Living TV Film Academy, because we are practical oriented. Unlike other conventional universities, we have avenue, we have the cameras, we have the computers, we have our computer lab, we have all the necessary equipment and the modern convergences that help us to execute this program. So the program is for everyone, and we are doing our best.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, is it possible to acquire these skills within 1 year? Professor Dele, you are going to answer that question when we return from this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the program. You are still watching Issues of the Moment, and today we are focusing our attention on Living TV Film Academy here in Aba. Professor Dele, before you answer my question, let me take some questions from members of the audience. And I'm sure that you are aware of the rules of the game of the students. And I'm sure that you are aware of the rules of the game. First of all, introduce yourself properly and your department. Let's have the first question.
Sir, my question will go to Mr. Abel on cinematography. My name is Divine Boldness Allison, Department of Cinematography. So my question is, sir, are you saying in the nutshell that Living TV and Film Academy can provide our students with capacity that can compete with any student in anywhere, even in Hollywood, that there is no need of us traveling abroad to California to study cinematography, that what we have here can give us capacity to compete with anybody anywhere in the world?
Thank you very much for that important question. Ebe, you heard him very well.
Living TV, as I'm here as a instructor in cinematography, you can, if you come to my classes and learn what I can teach, you're going to compete very well globally. But that's not, by the way, that does not mean that if you have other opportunity to travel to anywhere to go for film festivals in Europe, we have gone to film festivals even in Hollywood to if I instruct you on cinematography, on and how to use the camera as a maker of meaning, anywhere in the world, if you talk, and cinematographers, directors of photography, you've come, you've trained in the appropriate place.
Okay, thank you very much. Let us take another question from the audience.
Sir, my name is Okezie from Broadcasting Department. Sir, having seen that the rate of HIV positive status is increasing in the society, for living TV students to make more impact in the society, I want to ask the hairstylist if there are some health risk factors that are challenging the profession, and also, if the answer is yes, what could be the precautive measures for one to take in order to prevent such?
Thank you very much, Okezie. And Jane Carlo, you are in charge of the hairdressing department. You had her question. Go ahead and answer it.
In the question that she asked, when you want to attend to any customer based on hairdressing or makeup, you put on your glove. If you are applying anything on the person's face, before you do anything, you dispose after doing anything that you want to do on your customer's face, you dispose whether razor blade or the scissors that you use on the person. Both the comb, after using the comb, you wash it off with warm water. I believe when you do this, you will not contact any disease or infection.
Thank you. Okezie, are you satisfied?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let us take another question from the audience.
My name is Mr. Dovi. I'm from Broadcasting News. I've heard a lot about this academy. And from the prof today, I've come to know that this school has been properly accredited. A situation that is lacking in some major institutions in Nigeria. But I consider myself so lucky enough, and I also consider other students here who are beneficiaries of this school at this moment very lucky as well. But from my personal observation, it's like the popularity of this school beyond this block is so low. How can the public become beneficiaries of this institution? How can this school reap from the public from such a situation that is so low? What can the school do to enhance the popularity and therefore attract the students into here? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Professor Jane.
Well, the question is simple, and let me start by thanking you for his concern about the growth of the institution. But one thing is certain, when Jesus Christ was combating the disciples, he said he was going to make them teachers of men. And I think what they now become living TV film academy evangelists, having known what is happening. As they go about, they should also tell others what they have said. On our own, they are not resting. We are ensuring that most of the radio stations and also television stations are carrying on adverts, especially in this new semester that we've already opened. If you have not done such, I'm not sure the number of persons who have gotten this new session wouldn't have. So, outside that, they should also do something. The college is barely 1 year old since we commenced effective studies. And so I don't think any person should blame the academy for shortage of students. The group of persons you're seeing here are just the people for skill acquisition. Regular students are not here, those who are into mass communication and multimedia film studies. They are not here, these are just skill acquisition students. These are the people you see here. And I know that with the way we have started, very soon, here will also be filled up, because what we are doing is fun for itself.
Okay, thank you. Now, before I come back to you, let me ask Ebed, can you share with us some of the challenges you have facing your department? Are there challenges?
Living academy, the challenges are minimal. As Paul said, it's just a new institution, a new academy. But holistically, every field that has a technical background will always have challenges. For example, when I want to teach these student aspect ratios, I take them to the cinema so they understand what aspect ratio means. And here we have a widescreen where I can instruct them with the visual material. But as a cinematographer, you really have to understand what aspect ratio means. When you watch something on what they call cinemascope, on the big cinema screen, when you watch on the widescreen, on the flat screen, and watch on monitor on your phone, they make different things. When you are framing your shots, your lighting, they make different things. You understand? So the challenges here are still minimal. As a new academy, still minimal. But as I said before, in every field, technology is always evolved. So there will always be challenges. But here I am living is dynamic. So here at Living TV Academy, still minimal from my own point of view.
Okay, can we hear from you, Greg Peters? You are in charge of information technology. Still on the same issue of challenges.
Well, one of our major challenges in Nigeria as a whole is the issue of unsteady electricity.
Erratic power supply.
Yes, because most of the things we do here, like when we are, for instance, we are streaming a program live and the power is not stable, it will affect the program. And some of the students, when they are doing their practicals, because whatever we are doing is not our practicals. So sometimes unstable network, because if we are trying to design a website, we have to stream it online. If we don't have sufficient network, it will not be good. So unstable network, power outage, these are some of the challenges. In terms of equipment, I think we don't have any efficiency in equipment, but these are the areas I'm able to see that we have challenges, except that.
Okay, thank you. Now, Professor Dele, let me finally come back to you. Is it possible to acquire this skill within 1 year?
Yeah, well, it depends on when you talk about skill acquisition, it's quite different from pure academic exercise. But I also know that even in our tertiary institutions like the Polytechnic, you can have your HND, you can have your OND within a year and 6 months, and then become a practical journalist. And there is always, I keep telling people, there is always a little difference between a practical journalist and a pure mass communicator. What you cannot practice effectively within 1 or 2 years is mass comm. But when you talk about journalism, you can do it for 1 year, depending on the student, his ability to adapt and learn. You can get like this acquisition, like the fashion and designing, the cosmetics and the hair doing, and those ones you can get them within 1 year. But when you want to major on pure broadcasting about news, how to press the camera, cast your news and so on, you can also get achieved within 1 year. And then when you want to also learn from the print media within 1 year, you can also go if you're an intelligent student. We're only talking about how to gather news, the fact of news and what makes a news gathering, and then also how to report the news. Within 1 year, you can achieve that, but you won't go further than that.
Okay, thank you very much. Still on you, I know that as academic director, you are fully aware of the visions of the school. This skill acquisition introduced or sponsored by the adjacent Okezie Ikpeazu, is it in tandem with the vision of the school?
Yes, because like I said, it's the man who started it has compassion, for the teeming youths who are roaming about the streets. Most often, you can't differentiate between the graduates and non-graduates in the streets because of lack of jobs and so on. And then one of the first things was to agree with even the government when they talked about skill acquisition and said, yes, there are some people we can wheel out within the first 1 year. It is intended because the basic thing is to ensure that our youth, our teeming youth that are running about the street will have something doing. Because an idle man is the Satan's workshop. So because of that, I think it is in tandem. And also, it is not purely skill acquisition, just like going to learn how to be a cobbler, shoemaking, and so on, like the fashion and designing. It is also academically associated. There are basic things, like all of them during the time of orientation and induction, we were able to teach them the use of English. The use of English for, yes, because knowing that English language is our lingua franca, there is no form of press you will engage yourself into without first and foremost knowing how to read and write, knowing how to express yourself in English language. Just like you said earlier that whoever that knows how to read and write in any language, the person should not be seen as an illiterate. So that is why we say it is in tandem with what the government is doing, because we are academically empowered. We teach them the basics even before going to their various trades. And there are also some of them who are in this fashion and designing who are also, collapsing into broadcasting and some other areas, they think will help them. We also have some graduates here in the skill acquisition who maybe felt that what they read in the university cannot be easily practiced. So they have come to acquire one or two other things. Yeah, so I think it is in tandem.
Okay, thank you very much. We are gradually coming to the end of today's edition of Issues of the Moment. But before we call it a day...
sorry, Mr. Moderator. Before you go ahead, like I said earlier, what we have here is not just the many people like who are here. Some of the academic tutors are not here. One reason or another, just like Dr. Moha, who is supposed to be the registrar, is not here. In our radio section, we have Jimex Ndubisi, who is a journalist in the radio section. We also have Princess Silas, Princess Silas, though she's heavily double. Very soon we're expecting she's going to give triplets, that will increase the number of our students. Yeah? She's also in the youth department in this college. We have Pascal, we have so many of them who are not here, so it is just important that I mention that. Then, shortly before you round up, it is also important to tell us that one of our basic beliefs why this college is formed is because we believe that when a man is not informed, he is deformed. And deformity is not just about a bodily harm. When a man is not educated, he is deformed. And that level of deformity is worse than, is called mental bankruptcy. And this mental bankruptcy is worse than HIV, Ebola, and what this recent COVID. So we come here to give you something. We want every person to be informed. And like I tell most of our students, it is very dangerous for you to die the way you were born. And you were born Mr. and you are buried as Mr. That means you achieved nothing here on earth. So the wisdom of Solomon has nothing to do with the age of Methuselah. That is to say that education is one thing that comprises the value of a man and that of a woman, without which man is nothing. The living TV academy will make a little difference. Even if you cannot obtain your degree or HND or whatever, we also run a certificate course. Within 1 year, I am telling you, you're going to be better than your peers. Because the difference between a poor man and a rich man is rich information. When you are equipped with information, you are rich. And the difference between that man in the back and the graduate is pronunciation. So these are some of the basic things we do here. And that is why here is basically a practical place. It's not all about studying. After studying, you come down to show what you have learned.
Okay, thank you very much for that wonderful explanation. Like I said earlier, we have come to the end of today's edition of Issues of the Moment. For the past 30 minutes, we have been talking about what is happening in Living TV Academy. And I hope that we have succeeded in answering questions bothering you about this great institution. But I cannot draw the curtain without asking Ebe or Noah to tell Apians to give his last word, your message to Apians concerning Living TV Film Academy here in Aba.
Living TV Film Academy is here to equip people for the 21st century with whichever department the person chooses. Like in my department, as I said earlier, if you are in cinematography department and I instruct you and teach you and take you on excursions, you are going to be among the best in the world. Anywhere you go, people know that you have fully gotten proper training. And to the teaming youths out there, they should use this opportunity to come and register in one course or the other at Living TV Academy. And as Prof said, if you are not informed, you are deformed, because there are various courses. If you cannot be a cinematographer, at least you can be a makeup person. If you cannot be a makeup person, you can be a costumer. They are all integrated in the film TV industry. It's a collaborative, everybody is needed. The electricians, the gaffer. So the youth out there should use the opportunity to come and better themselves and evolve themselves for the 21st century.
Okay, thank you. And from the beautician, Jen Carlo, what is the message to Abia, especially the youth?
I want to use this opportunity to tell the youth and every member and every student in Living TV to focus and grab what they are here for. The governor have brought this appreciation for us to learn it. Bring out yourself. If you want to learn, bring out yourself, bring out your time, focus on it and grab it right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Emily Walk.
Sir, I'm also advising people to come in this our school acquisition based on whatever you need to do in any department you want to involve yourself, and now announcing to the people, especially in this our program, to come and make one of the departments unite, especially for our own department, fashion and design, which is easier something to do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And great teachers, the magic figure.
Well, I want to encourage Nigeria as a whole to let this opportunity to get self-employed, because it's a skill that will equip without the youth to be resourceful and self-employed. The era of waiting for white-collar jobs, when there's no work at all. But today, with the skills that we help the students to acquire, to help them to be resourceful and useful to themselves and to the community and Nigeria. So this opportunity is open to everyone, and people are encouraged to utilize it because opportunity comes.
Thank you very much. I think you have said it all. We have high level unemployment, and for you to succeed in today's Nigeria, you need to acquire a skill. And from Paul Bajeli, your last word, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right, my listeners. There is no excuse for poverty. There is no excuse for crime. You are what you want to be, and the way you think is the way you are. That your parents are dead and you are orphan is not unless you are delivered in that family to give name to that family. Don't sit back and wait. This skill acquisition is free. You can become whatever you want to become. There are a lot of people who never got this kind of opportunity. But today they are Mr. Somebody's. Don't die the way you come. Remember, respect does not mean cowardice. When a court and wreck where they respected does not reciprocate to that respect.
Thank you, Professor Chinedum Ajele. And I want to thank ladies and gentlemen who participated in this special edition of the program. I want to thank Professor Ajele, Academic Director and Consultant in Living TV Film Academy. Great Ikpeazu, who is informed in charge of information technology. Emilia Wong of fashion and design. Peace Kano, who is in charge of makeup, and also Ebe Ronoa, who is the instructor at cinematography. I want to thank all of you for coming today to talk to us on issues of the moment. God bless all of you. I also want to thank students of Living TV Film Academy for participating, for taking part in today's edition of our program. My name is Jimmy Zia. Join us next week for another interesting edition of Issues of the Moment.
Thank you.